The Wolf Among Us in 5 minutes, sort of. Everything you need to know about episodes 1 through 4. Spoiler alert. Once upon a time, there was a place named Fabletown, a small community made up of characters from fairy tales, lore, and legends. Yes, characters like Snow White are quite real, and some now secretly live in New York City after they were forced out of their homelands. The keeper of the peace is Sheriff Bigby Wolf, better known to normal folk, or Mundies, as the Big Bad Wolf. His scary past is behind him now, and he sometimes hangs out with drunk pigs. One day, Bigby is called to stop a fight in an apartment building by Mr. Toad, a Fable who can't afford the expensive magic to make him look human. Bigby heads up and saves a prostitute from the Woodsman, of Red Riding Hood fame, and does it the best way he knows how. Hey! The Woodsman winds up getting an axe to the head, but it's fine because Fables are fast healers, although they can actually be killed if they're not careful. A few hours pass. Snow White, assistant to the deputy mayor, discovers that the prostitute from before has been murdered. With the help of Buffkin, the flying monkey, and the magic mirror, Snow and Bigby find out that the prostitute's name is Faith, a character from the German donkey skin fable, which is about a girl hiding in plain sight. Trying to find the murderer, Bigby visits Faith's husband, has a run-in with 2 private investigators, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and tracks down the Woodsman in a bar owned by a troll named Holly. After a quick and brutal scuffle, Bigby returns to find another Fable has been murdered. Snow White! Or maybe not. Although the woman looks exactly like Snow, the woman is actually a troll/prostitute named Lily. You see, Lily used black market magic to look like anyone her client wanted, which gets extra creepy because the last client who wanted the Snow White treatment was actually Snow's boss and deputy mayor of Fabletown, Ichabod Crane. Blech. Now that Crane is the #1 murder suspect, he smashes the magic mirror to cover his tracks and flees. But something isn't quite right. Crane is a lecherous creep, but he isn't exactly the murdering type. So Bigby, who's shocked that a black market could operate in Fabletown without him knowing, pushes a little deeper. He finds out that Dee and Dumb are part of a larger conspiracy that involves racketeering and a mysterious criminal named the Crooked Man. Apparently, the desperate underclass of Fabletown turns to the Crooked Man for favors since Fabletown's government isn't cutting it. But let's put a pin in that for now. Crane is tracked down to the Pudding and Pie, a skeezy strip club that's run by Georgie Porgy, who also happens to pimp out his girls. Faith and Lily both worked for Georgie, as well as Narissa, a scared girl and former Little Mermaid who wants to help. Bigby arrests Crane, and everything is finally looking swell until it isn't.
Hi, what you got there?
Outside, Dee, Dumb, and the Crooked Man's personal badass Bloody Mary are waiting, and they are not happy. Things quickly go to hell. Bigby wolfs out, and Bloody Mary snatches Crane after taking the big guy down hard. Bigby will remember that. Back at his apartment, the sheriff gets patched up by the good Dr. Swinehart, and Narissa confirms to Bigby what he already suspected. The ribbons that all the prostitutes wear are actually magical. They prevent the girls from saying anything to help the investigation. And if that wasn't bad enough, removing the ribbon leads to nasty consequences, making it the perfect tool for control. So now it's time to figure out what's really going on. In an effort to track down Bloody Mary, Bigby pays a visit to Beauty and the Beast, who are going through some money and marriage problems. Beauty took a loan from the Crooked Man, and Beast has been delivering mysterious packages for Bloody Mary. This info leads Bigby to a butcher shop, run by one of the Crooked Man's pawns, Johann the Butcher. Unknown to Johann, his shop actually fronts an illegal lab that makes magic using slave labor. Now, even more pissed off than usual, Bigby heads to a pawn shop run by the Jersey Devil, the guy who manages the Crooked Man's loan racket. With the help of the Woodsman, Bigby gets info about how to find the Crooked Man's hideout. He also finds the last piece of the broken magic mirror, which they use to find Crane, who's been whisked away to Paris to keep quiet. Arriving alone, Bigby is greeted by Tiny Tim, who tells Bigby that the Crooked Man isn't such a bad guy when you get to know him.
He's not as bad as you think.
However, Bigby is probably beyond the whole getting to know someone stage and enters a room that's packed with people who may or may not want to kill him, including the Tweedles, Georgie, and the Crooked Man himself. Damn it. What happens next is entirely up to Bigby. It's his decisions that will not only decide the fate of his friends and his own life, but the entire fate of Fabletown itself. But of course, in Fabletown, things are never quite what they seem.